Do you want to be a boss or do you want to remain as an employee? Well, I can tell you that question is not so black and white. So we are going to talk about that in our financial freedom video, so stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, certified financial planner and president and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And we want to thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Concepts videos. These videos were created to help to make the difficult and confusing retirement process simple.
Yes, because with so many retirement concepts out there, so many retirement strategies, and of course with so many retirement products, it can become very difficult for consumers to digest it all. That's why we're so fortunate that we work with a team of expert advisors to help us build a financial roadmap that will let our clients know when, where, and how they can reach their retirement goals.
For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Now, Carson, in this new generation, everybody wants to be their own boss or create their own business, but you feel like it's being oversold. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
I do believe that it's oversold, Andrea. I do. Because unfortunately, I know that millions of people are stuck at dead-end jobs. And unfortunately, what they're finding themselves to do is either quit or quiet quit that job. But I'm here to say that not everyone is cut out to be a boss and take on that type of responsibility. But at the same time, I wanted to be clear, I'm not advocating for anyone to stay at a dead-end job. But we're going to dissect this very unique dynamic that I know that a lot of people play in their minds day in and day out. But before we do that, there are two rules to retirement income that we like to give you. And Andrea, what are those two rules?
Well, rule number one is to never run out of money. And rule number two is to never forget rule number one.
So let's go ahead and jump into our lesson today to talk about why you might want to hit the pause button before you quit that job and decide to become your own boss.
So Carson, how do you think we've just gotten to this point of just wanting to quit our jobs and become our own bosses?
Well, I would say we're just in the information era now, Andrea. You know, we have so much information that's around us that we can get. And of course, when you have people with loud voices on the internet, like a Dame Dash, who's telling people that owning things is really the way to go and the only way to go, which he's not wrong. I think being your own boss is very important if you have the acumen to do so. But the most important thing that I think he leaves out is that everyone should know thyself. Not everyone is cut out to be their own boss. Some people are very well suited to be a great employee or work for someone. So I think that we've gotten to this space now that when you hear people like Dame Dash, who's been very successful in doing his own thing, which should definitely be applauded, we have to understand that when you're hearing these types of voices, people like him and others saying, you got to own things. And if you work for someone, it can't be a belittling type of thing. Everyone got to make sure that they know themselves first, Andrea, before they start thinking about becoming their own boss.
So Carson, you've been an independent financial advisor for over 22 years. And from my vantage point, I've seen you have the lifestyle and the freedom of not having to clock into a job. So why shouldn't everyone want to have this pursuit of happiness as well?
Well, of course, that's a very good way of putting it, Andrea. You know, I do want everyone to be able to pursue their own happiness, and I want them to pursue their own freedom and their own lifestyle. I think having choice is really what makes life beneficial and worth living. But in saying that, it's very important that people understand when you're talking about becoming a boss, there are some other things that you got to consider. You have to understand, Andrea, that there's a lot of sweat equity that goes into play when you're talking about starting a business. It also takes a lot of tenacity. It takes a lot of patience. And it also takes something that I don't think people really want to experience. It takes a lot of failure when you're talking about starting your own business. So you just can't wake up one day, quit your job, become a boss the next day, and think you found the ultimate success in life. Another thing that you have to consider, which I don't think a lot of people have the patience for now, is that you have to have deferred gratification when you start your own business. Now, you mentioned that you watched me have this freedom and this lifestyle of not being able to, clock into a job, and that is very, very true. I also saw my father do the same thing, so it's probably in my blood to just kind of operate that way. But I will say this, what you also have not seen me do is buy expensive cars, buy expensive watches, buy expensive clothing. You didn't see me build this mansion to live in that you don't need because you don't even have enough people in the household to even enjoy the size of the home. You have not seen me do these things. You've seen me be very tempered in how I actually spend my money, because you have to have one thing, probably more so than anything we're talking about being your own boss. You have to have discipline. You have to have self-control, and you have to have deferred gratification when it comes to having a business. So if you don't have those things in line, or if you're not able to not go out and buy that Corvette or that $10,000 watch, becoming your own boss is going to be pretty much impossible. So basically, I guess what I'm saying here, Andrew, is that yes, I want everyone to be able to pursue their own happiness and freedom. And if they can become a boss, go ahead and do it. Be just like Dame Dash. But you have to understand it does come with a significant sacrifice and a cost.
So Carson, what do you tell people that may feel like they're stuck at a dead-end job, but after watching this video, they feel like they're not wanting to become their own boss either, and so they may remain an employee? What do you tell them?
Well, what I would tell them, Andrew, is that they might want to reimagine themselves as an employee. Although everyone can't be a boss, it doesn't mean that people can't be a great follower either. Now, I know that sounds very anticlimactic, being a great follower, but just because you are a great follower does not mean you can't also be a great leader as well. Now, you've worked in corporate America before, right? I've worked in corporate America. And when I worked in corporate America, I had someone who was a manager over me, right? That manager was my particular leader. And someone was over that particular person as well. So as you go up the ladder, there are going to be people who are great followers that are behind you, and there are going to be people who are great leaders who are ahead of you. And until you get to the point to where you're the owner of that company, everyone is pretty much a great follower, but it doesn't mean you can't be a great leader. So I would simply tell people, reimagine yourself as an employee that can be effective, and just simply find the things that you're good at. That's going to be the key element in order for you to decide how you want to continue your pathway into a world where everyone can't be a boss. Because quite frankly, if everyone is a boss, who's going to work for you?
Well, Carson, you said something very interesting about reimagining yourself as an employee. I'm not sure that everyone wants to reimagine themselves as an employee, so explain that a little bit further.
I totally get that, Andrea. Everybody may not take on the concept of being an employee, even though we know that most people are going to be employees. But when I say reimagine yourself as being an employee, I think people really should take a grip on who are considered employees. How about you go around and ask any athlete in any sport or any entertainer who's doing very well, or if you go to Silicon Valley and talk to people who are working in Silicon Valley and doing the things that they love and making millions of dollars doing it, they are considered employees. Guess what? Everyone can't own Facebook. Everyone can't own Microsoft. Everyone can't own the Chicago Bears. So I'm telling you that when you start to reimagining yourself as an employee, if you find the thing that you can do very well, Andrea, you can make millions of dollars and be able to still create the same type of freedom and lifestyle that everyone is looking to do as a boss. That is what I mean about reimagining being an employee. Go do the thing that you're good at. Sure, some of you may have to take a step back from a highly paid job. See, this is the thing that I think people get misconstrued. Just because you're in a dead-end job doesn't mean that job is not paying well. It may not be the thing that you're passionate about. So for those of you who may have to take a step back from that type of dead-end job to do what you really love and what you have the ability to do, that may be the key to those of you who may decide to take on this concept of reimagining yourself as an employee to go on to do very, very great things in life.
Well, Carson, what is the overall moral of this video?
Well, I would have to say, Andrea, for this video, I'm going to have to use the old cliche that if you go out and you find something that you love to do, you'll never feel like you're working a day in your life.
Well, Carson, thank you for your insight on this topic. It was very helpful. And thank you for watching. And if you felt this information was beneficial, please like this video and share with others.
Please understand that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you're looking for an independent fiduciary advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today.
After this video, please check out our other videos that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
We have answers.